But me, myself, I cannot raise myself to this. I cannot perceive myself as a woman. I'm still perceiving myself as a girl.
Girl?
Wow.
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl, yeah. Okay. Hello, Elene. Hello, Anna. I'm so glad to see you. We haven't seen you for a while now, and I want to inform you that this is going to be my first podcast in English. And I'm glad that I have the opportunity actually to brush up my English skills with you.
Thank you, Daniela. Thanks for having us here. We're very excited to do this podcast. Congratulations on the first English language podcast and also going beyond the borders of Romanian-speaking audience. So maybe you become popular.
And I've already told you that the theme of this podcast is women in leadership. And this is going to be in the context of the Women Holiday, 8th of March. That we celebrate on 8th of March. And this podcast is going to come out in that week. And yes, I want to ask you, what do you think about this holiday? How you perceive it? What it means for you? And if you celebrate it?
So thank you for inviting us, Daniela. I'm very happy to be here. And I knew that this day will come once. We were discussing about your podcast so a long time ago. Actually, not
you
long time
were
ago.
one of my first supporters. I will never forget this.
So if you push the button to donate, so I will be the first one, I think.
We need to have more views. We need to have more views in order for YouTube to give us this button for donation.
Actually, coming back to your question, so as we discussing earlier, so we don't lose the opportunity to celebrate every day. But I think as a norm for our society, let's say, as a norm who states the norm and who did them, so we celebrate 8th of March also. So not necessarily with present, but small attentions, presents, like a bit more attention than usually. But it doesn't mean that the others, they should not be the same for us. So it's about respect, it's about recognition, and it's about love, I would say, and not only on 8th of March. So.
But do you celebrate Women's Day, or you celebrate Mother's Day?
I think for me it's more on Mother's Day, because I am a mom of 2 kids. Previously, I was pretending that it's Women's Day, but now, to be sincere, it's about Mother's Day for me. So I think it's on that side. Maybe Elena can say her.
Oh, interesting. Position. No, I mean, for me, 8th of March is the day on the calendar. I don't really celebrate it, and I don't feel
for Elene, it's simple.
Urge to celebrate. And also maybe in relation to Mother's Day, we have Mother's Day on a different day. So for me, then the celebration of Mother's Day would be important to celebrate and recognize the hard work my mother has done raising me. But when it comes to 8th of March, I don't know.
Okay, this 8th of March came from this movement of women's rights.
Yeah.
As I understood, in the early 20th century, something like this. And yes, I guess it's transformed because I'm celebrating myself. I'm celebrating my mother, my grandmother. I like to receive and to give presents. And I'm not losing any possibility of receiving presents. Any of the holiday, if I see a holiday, then I will celebrate it anyhow. Because I like to give and receive presents. This is my language of showing love to someone. It's like through gifts, and also the language to receive. Okay, but in this context, I was thinking that it's going to be very interesting to discuss an important theme: women in leadership and women in C-level positions. And now, this is like I have a traditional stage in my podcast. We should tell each other from where do we know each other, how we first met, and what are we doing at this moment of our lives.
So we need to talk about our careers and what we do.
At the beginning, we can start how we met. Should I say?
Okay.
I said that Elene is my ex-boss.
Yeah.
She used to be a C-level position in the Optim project in Helvetas. We met a Swiss company.
Organization.
Yeah, organization.
It's organization. We met there. We used to work together, the 3 of us. I remember you interviewed me, by the way, when I came to Optim project. I immediately had a very a positive opinion about you. You were super empowering. I liked working with you. I really miss you when I went from the project. And yes, I guess that's it.
Well, thank you very much. I mean, yeah, that's indeed where we met a few years ago.
So Anna was also, we were working together. Anna was my colleague. And now she's...
We met at the same project. So
we met at the same project, at Optim Project in Helvetas. And then Anna changed her...
I think Optim unifies people. Optim brings good people together. So we met each other, all three of us met in Optim. So Elena, I know since the beginning of the project. So at that time, none of us was in leadership position. So because it was inception phase, only preparing. Then indeed, she was my boss also, as yours. With you, I remember the day. So you came for interview and I said, oh, this girl will work for us. She will turn the world upside down.
With her creativity.
Yes. And actually, I'm very happy to meet you both. Now I'm deputy team leader of Optim Project. So
yay, congrats!
Yeah, thank you. And that's I say. So I'm very grateful to Optim that we met there. So to Faith.
Yes, and Elene, where are you now? Where are you working now? Also, you have a leadership position now as well.
Yes, this is true. I'm still with Helvetas. I moved to the regional program that Helvetas is implementing in Southeastern Europe, covering 11 countries, 5 in Eastern Partnership and 6 in Western Balkans. And symbolically, I'm again in the deputy program manager position, responsible for operational part of the program.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, having 23 people in total on the team.
It's like interesting for me to understand, did something motivated you or inspired you to get to these leadership positions, or it happened as I don't know.
I can start.
Or it was fate. It was amor fati.
No, I don't think it was. Well, it could be fate because it was Elena who inspired me. So actually, she trusted in me and she said, you can do that. I tried. So I trusted her and I tried, despite of many challenges that happened. But I say it's the fate because I met her in this all this equation.
This is an interesting perspective.
And I think it's because of this, someone trusted you and empowered you, and you start believing yourself and understand that, yeah, it's possible. So if
But when you understood that you have leadership skills, and then you can do more and you can manage a team.
Well, it's not about understanding. So it's one at a time. So you understand. If you are not sure on what's the right decision. So I think it's still, we are all the way learning. So you develop yourself. You have continuously to grow and to adapt, adjust, and improve your skills. So it's not about understanding. You have them or you not. So you can.
I remember I had a debate with you, Elene, not necessarily a debate or with all of you about leadership, that I was militating that the leadership skills, you are born with the leadership skills. Then in time, I changed my mind, to be honest. I understood that leadership skills can be learned. But maybe because all the time I was considering myself a leader, let's say in high school, in university, I was pretty, I don't know, being an organizer of a lot of things, and I was considering myself a leader. So I was considering that these kind of things you are identifying from the personality, from the character. Personality, I guess it's a proper word. So it's not something that you learn or you just can develop, but anyhow it should be inside of you.
I don't know. I don't think you're born with the leadership skills, but indeed you do have some ambitions, right? And then relating to the questions that you asked Anna, I don't think it's a luck. It's a hard work. especially for women, because we are indeed scrutinized and criticized and taking a very close look at, or can she do it? Can she handle? Can she be a leader? But then again, going back to leader, what is a leader? What are the qualities that you need to have as a leader? And when I was listening to you, you were bringing up the examples of the school. So what are the characteristics of your behavior? You were ready to take the responsibility. You were ready to take more on your shoulders for others on behalf of others, right?
Yes.
You were voicing, I don't know, the vision on how to do things. So it's a lot. But then why did you do that? Because you felt you have competencies to manage that. You would not offer your support, and you would not offer the vision to manage the work at school, or I don't know, if you didn't believe that you can do it, right? So it's a lot of elements like believing in yourself, hard work, taking on responsibility, and covering up for others on your team.
It's about trust and self-confidence also.
Trust and self-confidence, and also like having, being ready to take, I don't want to use strong words, but being ready to take others' shit.
I agree.
And deal with it, yes.
By the way, I didn't tell you, you know my story, but I didn't tell it that I used to open my own company. I used to have a startup. So I opened my own company, and I used to be the director of the company there. So I managed a team of maximum 8 people. And in the context of this, I would like to ask you about your experience, like for how many years of leadership do you have, of leadership positions, and also the challenges that you've been having, more challenges in these positions, and when you started to understand that it's challenging, and if this is related to the gender, if it's challenging specifically for a woman.
I guess leadership positions are indeed a bit more challenging than when you don't have to lead people, because like when you have your own task and you fulfill it and you come to work and you finish and you go home, you're responsible only for yourself. But then when you work with the teams, you in a way have responsibility for the teams. You enable them to have adequate conditions for work. But then at the end of the day, we work with individuals, and individuals have their own understanding of how leaders should be, and they have their own expectations in terms of the support or autonomy or guidance or mentorship or coaching. And this is so diverse. And when you have, I don't know,
20?
like exactly a lot of people, then of course, you will not be able to cater to all needs in the same manner or respond to individual needs. But I believe that you at least need to try. And of course, I felt many times that people either don't understand me, or they are super critical, or they feel I'm not giving them enough. You feel that, you sense that. And like my approach would be that when you sense that, you kind of try to respond, you try to talk to a person, you try to address what is not working. Not an easy process, because then you find out that actually what you thought, it's not what you, like the reality is different. It's a hard work. I mean,
but was it difficult at the beginning? It's like, I understand that
yes.
Anyhow, we were without experiences, and I guess we've made a lot of mistakes as well.
Yes. It was. It's not easy, especially when you transition from like in the same team. So as Anna was mentioning, I joined Helvetas in the advisory capacity, and then I was promoted to the management position. And when people are used to having you as an advisor, hey, cozy, nice, and then all of a sudden you kind of have to make them deliver. And then, as you say, you're learning your way of being a manager and a leader, and you decide for yourself what you want to be like. And this was, for me, maybe a hard transition. Because I was sensing that a lot of people were expecting me to be more authoritarian, or be a bit rougher, or like be strict, whatever that means, you know. And then this was not something that I believed in. It was like, for me, conflicting expectation from the team members and to what I wanted to do, because I wanted to have an individual approach to each team member, which maybe takes a bit longer time to understand who needs what and how and at which moment. But I was kind of trying to build in a longer run than more autonomy on each team member, which in the beginning might have looked a little bit like a weakness, or, oh, she's like too nice or too soft, or I don't know, whatever it was in terms of the perception. But then for myself, I decided that this is how I wanted to lead the team.
But were you doing it intuitively? Or you've learned somewhere that this is the way to do it? Because, for example, at the beginning, I was very perfectionist and I was authoritarian leader. I was crazy. And I'm so thankful to my team that they have patience with me. And in years, I understand what I learned the hard way because I was not into courses. I didn't recognize that you can learn leadership skills. I learned the hard way. I had a lot of scandals with my team, a lot of, debates, something like this, but in disagreements. But only in time, after years, I understood actually exactly what you are saying, that you need to approach each individual. But it took me a lot of time. That's why I'm asking you, from where did you know all this knowledge?
I don't know. I guess then the luck comes in, because I was also going through the leadership program in Helvetas. And also we did have access to the coaching support. No, it sounds like I'm promoting Helvetas, but there is also the mentorship support available within the organization. And I took advantage of all the support systems that were there, and I was using them. And then you are giving tools, but then also taking the training is not enough. Yeah. This is also what do you do with that, that then the leadership coaching or mentoring gives you? And then I was obviously thinking a lot about it, because I could sense that some people were not happy with the way I do things. And then I would come home and then think in the evening, what shall I do tomorrow?
You would cry a little in the pillow?
Sometimes get angry, frustrated, cry, disappointed, and then come back to work, smile, put a face, nothing has happened. And then, coming
back to the initial question. So have you learned that, or why, how you feel to do that? So I can confirm, or I can say that actually Elena had a different sense of leadership before going to the leadership training. So I think she
something from inside.
Yes, it was. I think it was something from
she
inside.
She was born with it.
Well, or maybe the experience during her job career actually influenced also. I agree that it's not an easy thing to manage and lead. So because there is a perception that there are different. These are different positions. So if you are a leader, it's not necessarily that you have to involve management skills. Or if you are a manager, you have to be tough. You have to be authoritarian. So it was funny for me. Actually, I had a situation when everyone was complaining that I am not enough authoritarian. So
wow,
yes,
me was the only authoritarian one.
But the privilege, I can see that that this individual approach can give the sense of I would say not privilege, but favoritism. So people do not see the privilege. So they do not see the behavior you have to others, and they feel maybe they are jealous, and they feel that you give more to other people and you kind of protecting someone. But in fact, you try to find the right approach to empower people, to make them deliver.
It's a good point, because someone would think that you are not treating everybody the same.
Yes, or babysitting someone a bit more, but some people have more needs and some people have less. And then to someone else, it might seem that you're babysitting someone. But
by the way, now I understand that, but I'm also possessive and jealous. I also don't like when the boss is not spending time with me.
Well, but then I believe you don't like to be micromanaged either. So.
Of course not, by the way.
Well, and this was the funniest, and I think a bit disappointing because you did your best, you put everything on the table, and then people take it a bit stronger. So than you expected.
Did you feel like in your roles, like we were talking a little bit with our relations with the team, were there any difference between men and women? Let's say that you work with men, also with women. Is this a difference? Is like how men are listening to you, how women are listening to you, how you can communicate within the team? And then we will talk the relations with the males, also at the C-level.
I don't know if I can relate it to the gender, but I would definitely say that sometimes I feel like if the question was coming from the male counterpart, I would not get so many questions back. This is like my sense. Because I always feel like if it comes from a woman, then like 100,000 questions come like, oh, are you sure? Look, this is not going to work. Or like a lot of criticism, kind of also feeding this stereotype that all women are not so competent and then I obviously compare when you're in a different setting and then the same message that you had like maybe a month ago comes from a male colleague in the same position. It's not questioned. And then you feel like, but wasn't I saying the same thing like maybe a month ago? Or like, wasn't I trying to preach the same thing for 7 months now? And now it comes from him and like, no question. Yeah, thank you very much for this solution.
But why? Just because you're a woman and it's like in the song, I'm a woman,
yes.
You're a woman, I'm a male.
Stereotypes, can she do it? Like, is she tough enough? Are her decisions good enough? It's always questioned. Yeah. Like we always have to have a lot of arguments supporting our decision, be ready to defend it, where when it comes observation, okay, not scientifically proven concept, but when the same comes from a man, it's not that much questioned. Because, boss's tough decision. Let's follow it.
Yes, I think there are some double standards here with men and women. I've encountered it myself. Let's say if I'm unpleasant, this was in the past, but if I used to be felt stressed or felt angry because someone didn't do their job, they could say that maybe I'm stressed because of my period. Maybe I'm angry because of my period, not because they didn't do their job. Or maybe because I recently didn't have sex or something like this. And I've heard such kind of phrases of men towards women when they're behaving themselves a little bit assertive.
Yeah. Maybe we need to educate men that when you are on your period, you're actually very calm. It's not true. So maybe next time when they're abusive, they should like say, "Oh, are you expecting your period?" But yes, of course, there are a lot of biases like that, which I don't believe are true, because handling the emotions are usually triggered not by hormones, but by our and I'm not a psychologist, so I don't want to mix up the terms, but like something that triggers anger, frustration is something that we have not processed as human beings, right? Our traumas from the past, or like our unpleasant work experiences. And then when something makes us angry, this is not related to the hormonal balance in the body, but this is related to something that we were not able to process in the past. Obviously you cannot relate it to the state of the period that woman is experiencing, anger or emotional instability or frustration. So we shouldn't really blame it on that.
Did you ever heard such kind of phrases around you related to sex and to period?
Yes, of course, not directly to us, but to the third person.
To other women.
Look at her, how she behaves. Oh my God.
She didn't have sex.
Yeah.
But paradoxically, I would say that you cannot hear this only from men. Women are using this phrase also.
By the way, women are kind of discriminating themselves. Women are discriminating women. And here we will talk about discrimination more. Yes. But this I've also heard. And you would never hear something like this about a man. He's too aggressive. He's too like this. He's too like this. He's a man, you know? Yeah. And people are forgiving a lot of traits, of unpleasant traits, of bossy traits, or bossy traits or something like this to men?
Yes. Well, because men have difficult jobs, they have to make tough decisions, they have to take a lot of responsibility. Their life is so tough. I mean, come on. Of course, anything is excused. They can be aggressive, and it's never hormones because their hormones are stable, and it's never about sex because they can have sex every day, no problem. It's only women. But hey, obviously I'm exaggerating, but yes, indeed. I mean, this is quite frequent in our society, and it's a pity that we're being so ignorant to the true reasons why some people can be sometimes aggressive or emotional. We're all human beings, and emotions are always related to something deeper. And I think it would be better that we pay attention to the well-being of our teams and go a little bit deeper beyond the surface than being so stereotypical and ignorant and label it with such biases. Shameful. I don't know.
I just, it came to my mind another question. How you feel in your role, in your position, at your job? You feel okay? You feel aligned with what your soul wants? It's like you feel that you are at the right place with this leadership C-level?
Well, I mean, speaking about myself, I feel like, yes, indeed, I'm in a very good position, but not because I have the position, but because every position that I had in my life, I always used it for gaining experience, learning the most out of it, and growing and improving. And what it means for me in this particular instance is that I continuously invest into the development of my own skills, of my interpersonal skills, of my competencies. And it's not an easy journey. So I consciously take then steps towards being able to do that job on a daily basis. And what I mean is, like, for example, every 2 weeks, I have a personal coaching with the professional business coach. And this is like my personal investment that I do for myself, because indeed, no matter how well you do the job, it's difficult to work with people. So I need a space where I can talk about the challenges that I faced, where I can process unpleasant emotions that the workplace can give, and then continue with the integrity and belief in, what I do and how I do it. But if I didn't have all those, structures and systems in place, I think it would have been much more difficult, because, again, dealing with adults is not an easy task.
Yeah, I can confirm that. So from my perspective, it's also a learning experience. It's a increasing learning curve. So all the situations, all the tasks that you have, to be sincere, you have to work harder. So what I feel in my position as in C-level position, not necessarily here, because I previously also had some, you had to work harder to have the same level of recognition and understanding, and mistakes are not accepted, I would say. So you have to learn to be flexible, adaptable, and choosing your right way of doing things. Trust in yourself also, but also listen to people that can advise you something, that can support you. And not learning only on your mistakes. So
you know why I was asking? Because there is maybe a stereotype that for example, there is indeed there is a stereotype that if you are a leader, if you are a director, the higher you are, the better it is. But not all the time. I've seen a lot of cases, especially in IT companies. Let's say there is a very professional engineer at a certain level. He got the proposal to be a team lead. And then after some time, he understands that he doesn't want to manage a team. He wants to be professional in his field. So it's not like being a team lead. It's something, I don't know. Yes. It's
I agree.
That's why I asked if you feel aligned with what you are doing.
But it's also the transition period. So because if you are a specialist in your field and you like what you do, and the management position and leadership position is not the easiest thing to do.
Of course.
And if you have to get out of your zone of comfort and dealing with things that maybe you don't like. It's not only fun and fluffy. So, and you have to deal with a lot of struggles, challenges, and sometimes indeed you feel, it was my feeling, I feel good that time and I like what I was doing. But you have, with, I think not with the time, but gaining more experience, and it's, you get used and you know how to address different scenarios. And people also, because we touched before the topic of growing in the same team. So it needs time and efforts to have the team also, and to change the perception of the team towards you, not only your internal perception about the new position. And this is how you position yourself and how do you feel. So there is I would say, double feeling and double action force. So
this is a very interesting perspective, because I didn't grow from a team and become a team lead. I made something and then I hired my team, so it was easy. I didn't have colleagues.
You were the boss from the beginning.
I was the boss from the beginning with my ex-team.
So you could have been authoritarian, no problem.
But I understand. But now I understand that it's so difficult to be simple colleagues with someone, and suddenly you understand that colleague is already your boss, or vice versa, and suddenly you are the boss of that colleague.
I know.
These are hell of challenges.
Yeah.
And I think you've passed through this, because this is your, and I think your, or not.
Yes,
yours as well.
The beginning,
Yes.
It's like that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess what you make out of it, my purpose was, or goal was never to be a boss. My ambition was always to have more responsibility, to take on more. And this is how I look at it. And also when I look at the team, I never look down. I always want them to feel equal, because I believe in modern leadership, it's not about having hierarchies, it's about having functioning teams. So compared to all the others, I just have more diverse spectrum of responsibilities, or like I always joke in the team that I have a diversity of the topics that I have to deal with from HR to the content, where you maybe have a bit more niche areas of responsibility according to the specialization or etc. But at the end of the day, all of us, we are contributing to the teamwork and team goal and team objective. So in that sense, I never feel, and I never at least intentionally come across like that. I don't know how others see me, but so it was never about being above
and this being spoken, I would like to introduce to start talking about discrimination, about the differences between men and women, because I know that usually I felt it in my team, that men from my team, not when I was a simple project manager in an IT company, everybody is super supportive until you are not gaining more than them, until you don't have a C-level function.
Okay.
It's like, it's interesting. And this is coming more from men. It's like men cannot accept, let's say that if there are a man and a woman on the same level, and suddenly someone needs to be chosen to be
the woman
hired.
Gets promoted.
Yes, so to get promoted, then the man will not be that. Yes, the man will not forgive that and will not be that supportive. Contrary, by the way, women, because of their imposter syndrome, would consider, okay, but he is indeed more, I don't know, he's smarter or he's like this. Women have a tendency to say, okay, maybe he deserved it, but man, no, he will always consider that he deserved it.
Oh, yes.
This, like, for sure.
Yes, I mean, I guess there is some evidence that this is indeed in how we bring up the kids, or like how kids are raised in the societies and families and schools. We do put a lot of pressure on men to excel, to be, strong, to be confident, because men cannot be non-confident, okay? And then we also teach the boys that, you should be informed about it. So there shouldn't be any question that you're not able to respond to. So there is a bit of, I guess, socio-cultural norms that we impose on boys, where on girls, on the contrary, we try to put that, oh, be caring, be, I don't know, supportive. Even in the sister-brother relationship, I don't know how you grew up, but I always heard, or like, be supportive to your brother, help him. And I would never hear my mom telling my brother that he needs to do the dishes, or like support his sister in preparing for something. Yeah. All I would hear is that in school you should protect her and you should defend her, and etc. So, and I guess this also then translates into the behaviors in the adult life, because women are indeed inclined more towards supporting, helping, being in the back. I'm here if you need anything, where then men on average are more
By
confident.
the way, I was raised, I also have a brother, and I was raised like also in authoritarian family.
Yeah.
And all I was hearing is like, you are a girl, you cannot do it.
Exactly.
Why he can do it? Because he's a boy.
Yes.
That's why I've kind of developed myself with this internal protest.
Yes.
And rebellion that I need to demonstrate something. And I think all my leadership skills all my leaders, let's say, skills come from this, that I need to show, I need to demonstrate myself. I need to show that I also can. And I also am worth of this, that I also can do it.
Yes.
That I'm a girl, but I can do
Daniela,
it the same as a man.
And then for the whole life, you have to prove.
Yes.
Where he doesn't need to prove.
Yes.
It's given to him.
Yes, it's insane.
Yeah. But
when you realize that I'm constantly occupying myself with proving something
instead of enjoying.
Exactly. Exactly. And this comes from
the frame that we put our kids. And now I'm thinking through the perspective of my kids. So it's kind of transmitting from parents to parents. And it's
from
even if you try to put equality on the table, it's kind of it's in your blood. So you have to work hard with that. So I'm putting my kids on the same level, but I see granny, oh, she's a girl. Oh, boys don't cry. Oh, so
my God.
Basically it's still in our families, in our society, it's a normal thing.
Yeah. Also with the payment equity, I remember a long time ago that me myself thought that, okay, this money is enough for me. I'm a girl, this is enough. It's something like this, because yes, it took me a lot of hard work on myself.
Find a good husband, he'll support you, yeah?
Not to find a husband. It took a lot of time to find a husband. No, I wanted to support you, a rich husband. No, I was saying that it took me a lot of time to understand that it's
not about man and woman.
Yes, it's not about man and woman. It's not about something enough. It's about the infinite possibilities that you have.
Yes.
And I was all the time considering myself, okay, me as a woman is enough. So this kind of discrimination thing is such a tricky thing. It's so inside us, because every time I was educated, I was in the technical university, always surrounded by men. And I was telling everyone, I've never felt discriminated. But then you hear me saying that I consider that this amount of money is enough for me. Mm-hmm. For example, for a man, it could be higher. But for me, as a girl, it's enough. I would have a boyfriend. He would support me financially.
Exactly.
So it's okay to have like this.
Oh my God. No.
Put the pressure on your boyfriend.
What?
Put the pressure on your boyfriend.
No, I mean, for me, this is like the most horrible thing you can say to a woman. Oh, this is enough for you. Or, oh, good salary for a woman. Oh my God, what does it mean?
But this also comes from, I would say it comes in families when wife is earning more money than a husband. The role changing not role changing in the family, but the perception and the attitude of the man can change towards, depends
because also
education.
Societies are harsh on men who take care of children and take family responsibilities. Again, back to the societal stereotypes. And and then also for women that earn more than men, very difficult to maintain family because men struggle to keep up with this. They struggle to, I'm not going to ask my wife to give me money. I mean, come on, it's a family budget.
By the way, maybe it's related to Eastern Europe. I've met some guys from EU and they are okay for the woman to earn a lot and to give them money.
The stroller with kids.
And to be the sugar mommy. They are super okayish. No, I'm joking with the sugar mommy, but they are super okayish with this. I think this is more related to the countries from ex-USSR or from Eastern Europe, maybe Middle East as well.
So I would say those who have the culture of masculinity. So like
also more traditional, like stronger traditional values, more religious societies, more like
yes,
patriarchic societies. Yeah, I guess indeed this is.
Well, it depends also on each individual. It's not a common, I would say, threat for all the families. So in Moldova and in Eastern Europe, you also can find families where they are well enough. Women is earning more than men. Man is going a stroller, cooking and taking care of kids.
That's because women do hard work of promoting the equality.
I've seen families where the woman is gaining a lot of money, like they're gaining more money, but the man didn't take the rest of the responsibilities.
Cooking, cleaning, still on shopping.
Still everything on the woman.
Taking care of kids.
This is even worse. Yes, when the woman... But I think here it's a little bit... I'm not sure if we can touch this, and I'm all the time very attentive when I touch the feminism theme, because it's very tricky for me to understand it 100%. But sometimes I think it's not that women are also mistaken in all this, but sometimes we have the tendency to take too much on...
yes.
And what I was saying, like my case, on proving something. And sometimes I feel that women, they're dedicating their life proving that they can do a lot of things, They can do what men are doing. They can do even what men can do. They can do everything.
I guess indeed women are trying to prove to men that they can do more because they can have high earning jobs, senior positions. They can take care of kids. They can do all the laundry, cooking, educating kids. And I think we shouldn't do that because it's not sustainable. You cannot do it forever. You cannot take so many responsibilities forever. I guess, going down to discussing openly, I guess, with the partner, because it's not possible to have sleepless nights for years and then also invest a lot in career and then, keep being healthy. And health is important.
And then in our society, there is promoted this idea that men are afraid of powerful women with C-level positions and jobs. And then they are taught be softer for a man, or I don't know, don't tell. You remember even this movie, the Russian movie that...
Which one?
Москва слезам не верит, when she has to not say her salary for him, not to
offend him.
Not to offend him, yes.
Yeah, I guess we still leave that to some extent. But
we do, because we are afraid. It's like, it's interesting, but the more powerful a woman is, the more money, the less males that would...
I believe for us as well, we are not free of those stereotypes. I don't know. The best advice I would give myself is just free up and say what you think and be open, free, and then whoever likes it stays and whoever doesn't then goes, as far as possible. Because also when we are trying to adapt and like what you were saying, be softer, then we are
consuming yourself energy
and also lying to ourselves, because this is not what we want at the end of the day, and then this is fake and this is not a genuine relationship, and the relationships should be built on decency and fairness and openness and honesty.
But being saying that, we can see in Moldova a lot of women in leadership positions.
By the way, yes.
And,
what does it cost them?
And this is also a question, but we don't know inner side of their families, their career path. But we see that more and more women are in leading position, and not because, let's say, there is a law that is promoting that.
By the way, how you combine personal and professional life?
Sharing responsibilities.
And do you feel that the more responsibilities you take at work, like the higher the position is, then the less involved you are at home with family commitments?
Well, I can start here. I think anyway, you have to give up to something because you have limited resources. And not giving up, but agreeing on sharing responsibilities. And it's very important with whom you are creating a family and how supportive are and how they or he or she depend. Well, in our case, it's he. Understands your level of effort, how much it costs you. Well, sleepless night, no one will take from you because kids want mom, not dad. But mornings are like, so coming back. So
it's a challenge for a woman.
There is because
for a man, I think it's not a challenge, no matter the position he has.
Yeah.
To share responsibilities.
There is always a woman who can wake up at night.
Because the man is working. Wow, I have such a
men have stressful jobs.
I have an example. I remember one of my friends got married. They got kids, and I was invited to their place, and I was asking, "Wow, how it is with your kid? How is the kid? Sleepless night?" And then he's telling me, "No, everything. The kid is so quiet. Everything is so good." And
because mom is not sleeping.
And suddenly I found that he's sleeping in another room because he needs to work.
Oh my God.
And then I understood why the kid is so quiet, because only the mother was...
the doors are shut. Yeah.
When kids starting speaking, they say, daddy, 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 and no way to hide during the night. So
anyhow.
Depends.
But back to our discrimination and C-level position and everything like this. Did you feel on yourself this glass? Was it easy for you to get this to get the position in which you are? Did you feel this glass ceiling?
I guess
above. Or do you see it? Do you feel it above us all? Is it difficult for a woman to get in high-level positions?
I think it's like. For me personally, is about making that claim, like wanting, because very often it's like me, myself, not being sure, not applying, not demanding, not making it kind of clear that, yes, I can. So, but I guess this is individual. I don't know. Very often it's us ourselves who are doubting that we can do, or we are able, and we are not applying, or we are not trying, or but then once you, or again, judging from my example, once you make this frame of your mind that yes, I can, then I guess you can, because you apply and then you fight and do all the, well, then once you get it, it's also not so easy, but that, yeah.
So what would be some of your advice for the girls that are there and they want to some empowerment for the girls?
Dare to make a claim, because I guess I also believe nowadays we have so many resources available. There is nothing that you cannot learn nowadays. You know, there is a lot of support, training, coaching systems, tools. Come on, AI. I mean, all you need is you need to believe, you need to want, and then you need to be ready to then take a little bit more responsibility.
Yes, but how to develop this confidence? Because the more you learn, like I can tell you from my personal example, the more you understand that you don't know. And this imposter syndrome, that you are not good enough because there is so much to learn and so much to remember. And sometimes I'm already starting to forget some things that I already learned.
Maybe look around and see what others are doing, because others around us are also doing the same, whether they're men or women. They're all also trying and learning, and I guess less going inwards on self-criticism, but more being objective. I'm also not saying that you're not if you're not competent, you should always claim for more. But honestly, like when we objectively look around, we work with professionals that are also not experts of everything that they do, whether they're men or women. So I guess for girls who want to have more, yeah, I mean,
but there is also an opinion that the true leader is not afraid to have around him or working with people that are smarter than them.
Exactly.
So a leader doesn't have to know everything. I think it's the sense, the feeling of people and leading people, and just getting the common efforts, the necessary resources and talents together and leading them towards a common goal. It's about trusting in yourself. As Elena said, so there is nothing that you cannot learn.
Yeah.
And I think this is
I like when leaders are enabling other people of finding themselves, being themselves, working more. It's like you are there to enable your team to do, and the team will do everything. Yes, you don't need just to be the smartest and do everything.
No, and also you mentioned that sometimes people don't want to have leadership positions. So for me, it's like starts with your own ambitions. What do you want? Where do you want to grow? And what do you want to do? And then if you are very clear on that,
yes, but
then you can start reaching out.
It's very difficult to understand what you want because so many years you were educated that you want to have kids and to get successfully married. So then it's difficult to understand yourself and to understand your qualities and to understand where you want to be.
Yep. Yeah. I guess to all the girls out there, what do you want? Ask yourself.
And we need to develop the self-confidence.
Like,
even with this, I will go back with the payment equity. Even with this, I know in IT as a fact that people are saying that women are getting lower salaries than men and they are putting all on discrimination. But I know it as a fact that women, when they are going to negotiate their salary, they are not negotiating it well. They will never negotiate like a man is negotiating. They will all the time
ask for less.
Ask for less, unfortunately. But this is how it is.
Yes, indeed. Again, what do you want? Always depend on someone to give you a bit of cash, or you want to be independent in all its meaning, and then have. And like being independent doesn't mean not having a partner or a husband, but having an equal partner and be happy with who you are and have someone who will be happy having you who you are.
What do you think about companies that in some companies, you know, that there is a specific percentage that they are obligated to hire women, not based on their skills, but based on the fact that a certain percentage should be women.
Just filling in some positions.
What do you think about this phenomenon?
I mean, it's the same with the political positions. Like all this debate about whether the quotas should exist or not. I guess they still should exist, because if they don't exist, then there will be no women in parliaments and parties and also the companies. So until we have any better solution, I guess this is a good solution. And then, so companies should be encouraged to have more women in leadership positions, better gender balance, and giving possibilities. I don't think there is any better way for the moment.
So you also agree with this?
Yeah, sometimes gender balance come vice versa. So we are in a team which we work more girls, women, so as we say. But
I remember only our boss was a man. We were all girls there.
I guess this is also specifics of the industry. Somehow I feel like in the NGO we do have women, but then when you look at the senior positions, all the team
there
leaders,
are more men. You see again,
directors, team leaders.
By the way, this is like I don't remember exactly
it's about gender balance.
I don't remember exactly the statistics, but anyhow, there are more men in the C-level positions than women
everywhere. Again, because of the confidence and because of the the educations, because of what we believe in, many complex.
But sometimes I have this, and I had some situations like, okay, you are a mom with 2 kids. It means that you will have sometimes from time to time to stay home with kids. Well, this is also this discrimination towards the women. So
then I need to
So you will not be committed the full time to the job. This is a wrong perception.
Exactly.
Because if a woman wants to do, she will not sleep nights, but she will do that. So,
do you have some, I don't know, anecdotes, some funny situations from your being, I don't know, maybe you've been gossiped and you find out, or I don't know, some interesting, funny stories from your leadership journey. I will start. I can say I went to, when I was working with Made in MD, I had an investor. It was a startup. I was the founder, and I had an investor. And I remember we started the year, and I went to him and I'm saying, "Wow, I'm full of news. I want to tell you like this. We need to plan like this. We need to make the strategy. We need to do this. It's like I want to tell you." And he was looking at me and said, "Better you would tell me when you are going to get married." Like, what? And he was in this awkward situation. Now it's funny to tell about it, but I was shocked that I was perceived like this back then.
yes. Well, there are situations, so it's maybe it's not from my experience. So, the teams usually, they are consolidated, they have common groups, chats and everything. And the funny things happens when they just mistakenly or by mistake send the wrong message to the wrong chat, official and not official. And this is the funniest stuff that can happen. So, well, for someone is funny, could be funny, but for the others, it's the
I had
this happens sometimes in.
I had a few times that my phone is calling the inappropriate people. That sometimes you are, I don't know, touching the phone and suddenly you've seen that you've called some person that is, I don't know, from the job or some of the partners. And
the most interesting thing when you have the chat without boss and the chat with boss, and you send the wrong things in the chat.
I don't know if our team has that. I should check.
Maybe your team also has something without boss.
And you have chat with boss, chat without boss, chat without boss. And so basically, cut this. This is between us.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people gossip behind my back, but somehow it doesn't reach me.
But there are statistics.
I'm sure they do. I mean,
there are statistics that gossip actually it's normal stuff, a normal thing, and it's healthy for an organization. So it depends on what extent it goes.
Dosing it. But I guess.
So you don't have funny stories?
I don't know.
Anecdotes?
No.
From being...
No, I think there is.
Very
also,
boring.
What is interesting...
If you remember something, I allow you to tell it.
I think you will also resonate with them. So that I don't think that this attitude or this behavior could be faced by a man. So everyone in the team can come and teach you and learn you how you have to lead. So this is the funniest thing. I'm not pretending that you should not listen to them, but the kind of you have to do that. Why you are not doing that? You have to fire that, or you don't
I resonate with this 100%.
So this is interesting and funny thing. So
you should be careful with that person, or you should fire this person, or like you should change how you treat. And you go like, thank you very much.
No, it's
not only from the team. I had like friends, like simple friends that were telling me, you need to do this. You need to do this. You need to be, okay, have you opened a company? Have you been in the C-level? No, but everybody considered necessary to give me advice on how to lead the company and the team.
So short-sighted. I mean, every change has a cost. And sometimes cost is very high. And I'm not saying you shouldn't do the change. But thanks for a valuable advice of who we need to get rid of, but it's taken care of.
For sure. So. We are kind of coming to the end of our podcast. And maybe we will... It was a little bit hectic. It was not how I prepared.
Then you will cut and put it in the order.
But maybe if we can summarize it, when we hear about women in leadership, what we are thinking of. First, we're thinking something positive. We're thinking immediately something negative. What are our feelings toward it?
Absolutely positive. when I think of it. Also, when I think of women in leadership, I think it's important that women support women. I would say that definitely there must be a lot of mentorship involved, because indeed it's very difficult to get rid of all those stereotypes, of all those beliefs that you have within you that prevent you from moving forward. But I also strongly believe in capability of women, to take on more responsibilities, to do their job really well with a lot of emotional intelligence, sensitivity, and professionalism. So that's what comes to my mind when I think of it. Indeed, very, very positive. And I hope a lot of more women will be encouraged to do more and take on more. And more doesn't mean heavier. It means exciting, challenging, interesting. You learn a lot. And then at some point you can decide to stop doing it and go back into the mid positions. No harm in that. I don't believe that if you're once C-level for the rest of your life, you should do that. No.
By the way, my case.
Yeah.
I wasn't C-level. I'm in mid-level, normal level, standard level. Exactly. No, I'm C-level with my podcast.
You're at individual level, so personal level.
Yes. Yes.
I actually admire women in leadership position, because I know there is a hard work behind. But I'm also happy that still there are men supporting women in such positions, promoting them, empowering. So it's not the lost game.
No.
So there is not only bad. And we can see changes, and I'm happy with that. So just a little bit of, I would say, be more confident and trust. So there is a balance, and there is the future is bright, as we say.
Yeah.
So it's not about disequilibrium, but when you have to be on a C-level position, you have to understand that it's not easy for women. So that's.
And I would complete with what Elena said, that a woman should, after you find yourself, after you understand what you want, indeed you can be whatever you want.
Exactly.
And you want to be a leader, go be it. You don't want to be a leader. This is not like very, how you say it, fancy.
Exactly.
It's just a job. It's just a position. So it's really what you want.
Exactly.
But taking into consideration that so much time women were not, with this glass ceiling, women were not, yes, because of this glass ceiling, women were not allowed.
It's a rebellion, as you said, in childhood. So
then
they put the frame.
It's provocative to be there.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I wish you all the best, Elene,
for the 8th of March.
Anna. We should continue our talk.
Absolutely.
On other themes as well, publicly and not publicly, by drinking coffee or something.
Or nice wine.
Yep. Moldovan wine.
Yes.
Local wine. Thank you.
Indeed.
I've never heard a man that is stressed and to tell him that he didn't have sex. Oh no, this I need to tell.